Maven is a build automation tool used primarily for Java projects. In this case, we're connecting Java to SQL, and we are doing a driver so it helps Java understand SQL. To make the Maven project, we use XML file, and we had to download the dependencies for the MVA repository. And we had to specifically look for the MySQL connector to Java. And we had to go to the patch organization to get login to get the correct compiler. I had to manually enter the group ID, the artifact ID, and the version we were going to be using. Once we have that, we are ready to create our SQL projects in Java and be able to connect to the client MySQL. And I will be using the Beaver or MySQL Workbench. To create tables, I went into this project and I created the project schema SQL using MySQL syntax, dropping the tables, just as a cautionary good practice of the names of the tables I was going to create. Once I dropped the tables, if they already existed using the correct syntax, I created the table project with the columns project ID, project name, estimated hours, actual hours, difficulty, and nodes. And I made sure that the ID was going to be an integer and cannot be empty, so it's not null. The name is a varchar with a max of 128 characters, not null. The estimated hours could be in decimals, and the same with the hours. The primary key is going to be the project ID. For the material table, it is very similar. The only thing is that in this case, we are going to add the foreign key, which is a primary key that moves to this other table. That would be a foreign key that is referencing to the project table in the column project ID. Then we created the rest of the tables following the steps, and we use the delete on cascade. Once I selected all these and ran my script, I created the tables. And here at the bottom, we can see that we were able to successfully connect to our client because the local host for MySQL is 3306. Now I'm going to switch here to MySQL Workbench. I'm going to enter my password here. Quick. I don't know if I got it correctly. Cannot connect that. Okay, I will try again. And once I am connected to the client, I will see that my projects table is there. And I can see that all the tables I created are here and with all the columns that I created. I'm going to see if there's some more information here. It shows that the primary key is category ID and it cannot be null. So that's kind of how I know things are working here. This is the syntax I tested my syntax here first to make sure I didn't have errors before I created the tables in Java. But yes, everything is here. And to create the entity relationship diagram, I didn't use a drawing tool, but I use a tool that are part of MySQL Workbench. So I use reverse engineer that allows me to create a schema, a diagram out of the schema I have here. In this case, I want to make my ERR for the project's schema. And after I finish doing this, I'm importing the tables, and I'm going to execute this. And here I'm going to close this for a second. I'm going to move it here. And this is how my tables connect. The primary key is at the one at the bottom. There we have foreign keys. They are in red. Oh, and my repository, then I put it in GitHub, where I can see all my code.